Blog Talk Radio.
After starts ringing. Pretty soon there's gonna be people waiting to come home, but they don't look how much are leaving you home.
Good evening, and welcome. Urban Souls Radio welcomes our very own Jon B. R&B singer Jon B is known for his hip-hop sound, but he is also a talented songwriter who has written for such performers as Toni Braxton, After 7, and Color Me Bad. He has collaborated with Kenneth Babyface Edmonds, the late Tupac Shakur, Nas, and AZ. Jon B has several gold records to his credit: Bonafide, Cool Relax, and Are You Still Down were certified gold. Are You Still Down and Cool Relax later went platinum. Born Jonathan David Buck in 1974 in Rhode Island, Buck is the son of David Buck, a professor of music at California State University, Los Angeles, and director of the Los Angeles Symphonic Camerata. Buck's mother was a concert pianist, and he learned to play keyboards when he was 9. Soon after, he added bass and drums. His brother Kevin became a cellist, and his sister earned a master's degree at Juilliard in violin performance. Although his family was deeply involved in classical music, Jon B was more interested in music with a beat, and from the age of 5, he drummed on anything that would make a good sound. With no further ado, now this is going to sound crazy, family, and we were so excited that we forgot to get Jon B's call-in number, so I'm going to take a stab. I have several call-in numbers that I'm looking at, and if you're not Jon B, I'm just going to put you back on mute. So, without further ado, I'm going to just take a stab at saying this area code 323 may be Jon B. So let's see here. Did I get that right?
Hello, this is Jon B online.
All right. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you for having me. Is this DJ Tan?
Wonderful. Yes, this is DJ Tan.
All right, my bro. Well, it's good to be with you this afternoon.
Man, thank you very much. You know, we were so excited till I forgot. We forgot to get your call-in number, and I'm sitting here looking at all of your fans' phone numbers back here, and I'm like, wait a minute, let me just take a stab at which one could be him. And I said, I got it right.
That's right.
Oh, man, we are so glad to have you as a guest on our show, and it means the world to your fans. You have a huge fan base on UrbanSouls.com. We're not a huge radio station, but we have your back.
And that's what's up, man. I do appreciate it, man. You know, after all these years, it's been about 20 years now of making music, and without y'all, you know, we couldn't continue to do it the way we do.
Most definitely. Your fans, they have so many questions. I said when we sit down and we finally had a chance to sit down and talk to you, we were just going to open the windows and just sit back and discuss a lot of things. We are so elated at the fact that your sound, to us, your sound is quite unique. You have the R&B swag, but you also have your own flavor to it. How did you come up with wanting to be, as your parents were such, a bona fide pianist and into classical, how did you decide you wanted to just step out on that?
Yeah, I think it really was just the calling, that music, that soul music, whether it be gospel music, whether it be blues, whether it be jazz, or whether it be hip-hop. I just feel like soul music itself had so much melody and so much rhythm and so many hooks that that just stayed in your head. Like when I was 5 years old, some of my first memories were jamming out to Donna Summer, and
oh yeah,
and the Bee Gees, and just how those songs, besides the Beatles and everything, Stevie Wonder was playing in my house too, and so if you grew up hearing Stevie, man, I mean, if there's something that it's a real gift that music is such a communication tool, you know what I mean? And at a young age, that soul music just communicated something to me that I just really related to, and I started to try to replicate it right away. I started to try to play those chords and play those drum beats, So
wow. So when you started trying to replicate what you heard, was it a shock to your family that you wanted to go in that direction, as seeing that they went the opposite direction?
What was so cool about the way they raised me was that they didn't force me to do anything that I didn't want to do. And they only got behind me and encouraged me, even when it was something that they had no real knowledge about. They just could tell, it's, I think, that musical instinct when they knew that, it was something that was naturally happening, that I was naturally just born with a voice and I could sing, Ebony and Ivory and do Paul McCartney's part, but then switch my voice up and do Stevie Wonder's part, or sing my favorite Michael Jackson song, or whatever it may be, Hall & Oates, whatever at the time, and this is in the 80s, and
right.
I really just showed promise very, very quickly, and they didn't hesitate. They just got right behind it, and I got my first keyboard at 9 years old, and drum machine later at 12, and started producing music and recording all my friends and all that. And hey, man, the rest is history.
Wow. Were you one of those kind of teenagers where you had you and your little friends had your group, and you like
exactly
get
exactly. I don't know how many groups I must have went through. Even rock. I went from having a rock group to having like an R&B group. That was like a 3-man R&B group. And, then producing the talent in my area, a lot of rappers, a lot of R&B groups that wanted to get demos done, and female singers who wanted to get solo records, demoed up and stuff. So that kind of gave me my practice. And I also got, I gained a little bit of a name in the industry that way. That's why I was able to walk in the doors of, Mr. Babyface Evans, and walk through, his door, and he was kind of like, oh, yeah, man, these demos, he's showing a lot of promise, man. Let's put you in the studio and try you out for real,
Wow,
and the rest is history, so.
I was thinking about being in Los Angeles. I said everybody wanted to be a rapper or a singer. I can remember myself standing on Crenshaw Boulevard, trying to make my own videos, and it's just amazing to just think about.
Yeah,
all
man, I was in all the talent shows and all that around L.A., and really it wasn't so much that I wanted to be in the talent shows. It was the groups that I was in. It's like
right.
I wanted my group to be able to perform, and I was always the producer of the music. All my records were written by myself. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So it was a different kind of thing. To me, it was more like, it wasn't so much about being famous or getting a bunch of money. For me, it was like the craft of making music, and I wanted to share that with the world, you know what I mean? So really being an artist was something that I was sort of made for,
Now, did you go to school in California?
I did. I went to school at the L.A. County High School for the Arts in Cal State, L.A., and so that was a really beautiful thing because I was able to be a part of that gospel choir, and
oh yeah,
and that whole element of vocalizing. If you haven't been in gospel choir and you're a singer, then that's a whole sort of another sort of experience when it comes to just soul and really where does the soul come from? It's
that's
from
right.
the spirit. It's from inside you. And
that's right.
That's where I learned to project and really learn how to sing. Really, it was in gospel choir.
That's right. I mean, that is the heart and soul of R&B. I mean, it starts there. If you have, like you said, if you have it in your soul, it's going to come out regardless. What was it like being around when you and your grandparents had the record store, and you used to spend a lot of time there? I mean, was it like a candy store full of music?
You know what? It was just really cool because I was such a young I was a baby at that point. I was from the time I could crawl to like the time I could walk, I was in this record store, and the people would come and go, and they'd buy all kinds of different records, and my parents as well as my grandparents would pay attention to whatever they were selling, because my dad worked in the store, my grandfather, my grandmother, and my mom, so everybody took turns, selling, records and cassettes to the people. And, they paid attention to what was selling the most, and they wanted me to have, whatever they felt was appropriate, and at the same time popular. So I was getting everything from Earth, Wind, and Fire to the Beatles to, you name it. If it sold, I had a copy of it, a free copy of it, and that was just a great thing because that was sort of my world that I used to live in. I just remember I had this little turntable and my records, and I just put on the turntables, and I'd just go into my little world and look at all the, back then we had record covers, album covers,
that's right.
Where, so much to look at, and so much to stimulate your mind. And
that's right.
As a young boy, I just kind of went into those little worlds, and I just, I loved it.
So where you were just like everybody else, and I let the audience know, we all are derived from the same place. Did you have your fake microphone with your hairbrush and
I
your
did.
broom?
I did. I actually had a guitar, a little broken guitar. The neck was broken, and I still made that thing happen, man. I just bang it with the drumstick and turn it into my own instrument. I used to play just anything that had a rhythm. Anything I could make a rhythm on. Really, I used to get in trouble in elementary school and. For beating on the desk and making beats and, getting all the attention of the class. The class would be like, yeah, okay, cool. Started bobbing their heads and, I'd get in trouble by the teacher, So, yeah, music was just kind of like irresistible to me,
Now, you said that you write your own music. You write your own lyrics and everything. When when you met up with Babyface, what was that like the first time? Just like,
it was really sort of like me coming full circle because, someone that was so influential as a writer, as a producer. From learning his chords and learning how to play his songs to finding my own style and sort of my own niche. Through sort of imitating his style. And to be able to meet that person who you call a mentor, become their friend, be in the studio with them, study under them, that's just really, that was the ideal situation for me as a young guy growing up in the music industry. Doesn't get any better than that. And I feel, I always say, sort of seen the mountaintop already, you know what I mean?
Right.
And as far as musically, I definitely feel like a lot of the greatest things I'll probably ever do, I've already sort of done, and working with Babyface, working with Tupac.
Mm-hmm.
These are things that are extremely hard to sort of outdo, in the future.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And neither am I trying to outdo. I'm not trying to outdo it. I'm just grateful for the opportunity that these opportunities that I've had to be able to record these songs,
Just wonderful. When you were, 18, 19 when Someone to Love came out, right?
That's right. It's almost 20 years since that,
Wow.
Next year it'll be 20 years since that song came out, man.
Amazing.
really, really amazing for me, and it's only a sign I think it's a tell-all sign that, we definitely need to link back up and start doing stuff, using, music again together. So, you never know what you might hear in the future. But I'm definitely trying to link back up with my man again, Babyface.
What was it like to be in the game 3 months and it had, for Billboard 200 to have sold over 58,000 copies? What did that feel like, being 19?
Well, I just felt like, being that it was produced and, the song "Someone to Love" was, written by Babyface. It was produced by him. He sang on the joint with me. My very first song I got to sing with my favorite, artist. That was really, I felt like, I felt, honored to be a part of it, but I wasn't surprised at all that the music was going to be, have such a shine, people were going to pay attention to it like they did. I felt like at that point, like, wow, okay, I finally made it. Everything that I've been working hard for is being served now to me on sort of like on a silver platter now. It's red carpet time now. It was
Most
official.
Definitely.
We got a Grammy nomination straight out the box with that song.
That's right. Oh, it was wonderful to see. It was just wonderful to see. I'm going to look on here. I see quite a few callers, and I know your fans would love to speak with you, to ask you a question, or just to say that they love you. And I'm just going to go down the list. We have an area code 818 on the line. We're talking to Jon B. Hello. Area code 818.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear
Hello.
you. Who's this?
Okay. I just want to tell Jon that I really love his music. I've been a fan from the beginning. And I called to ask, would he be interested in acting in movies? Would he be interested in scoring movies, like the Maestro Classical? And would he consider contributing some of his songs from Comfortable Swag and B-sides for a movie, so that some of those singles don't get lost? I know he's working on his new album and everything, and you can't lose Do You Miss Me? You can't lose all the other songs that are just so incredible, like Part of You. You just can't let only 100,000 people, a few 100,000 people know. You have to let millions of people hear that. And if you do like what MJ did with the long video, like a movie, and put them in a movie, maybe more people can get some shine on those songs and be able to relate to them and hear them and feel them. And I was wondering, would he be interested in acting and doing that?
Wow, that's a serious question, and a statement at the same time. Well, I appreciate your support. That the question to the whole acting thing is, definitely not an actor. Definitely have no plans on being an actor. I have no plans on being on a reality show anytime soon to promote my music. As far as promotion of the music, B-sides and Comfortable Swag are my first independent releases. These are the first time, sort of like, if you will, sort of like experimenting really with my fans and really, really seeing if my fans really still support me, off the fact that, I'm still the person who's making the music, who's singing the music, performing the music. I just don't have the same, backing, financial backing and corporate backing that I had when I was signed to Epic Records, which those were the heydays, man. It was great. It was a great time. I was very, very honored to have that, that opportunity on that label. A lot of things changed within the industry. A lot of mergers happened. A lot of the old people got fired. And when it came to making moves, I actually moved on myself. I actually asked for a release from Epic Records back in 2000, actually, after the release of Don't Talk. And ever since 2000, you know, things haven't sort of been the same in my career in terms of, like, exposure, in terms of promotion. So you are right, you know, my albums are sort of, you know, sort of like hidden gems, if you will, you know, and, you know, people really have to pay attention. The fans sort of have to keep up with me on, you know, via website and Facebook and, you know, all of the Twitter and all that, all the various social networks. I mean, this interview today is allowing me to keep up with my fans. So I'm really grateful for all the different, you know, venues that are making themselves available to me, you know, as an artist, because that allows me to continue to do what I love. I just feel like I have so much to do within the musical realm, you know, of being a writer, being a singer, as being a producer, that I really don't have any interest in changing my direction anytime soon. You know, I'll say, okay, man, I'm gonna be an actor now, and you know, you know, be in an action movie or be in a thriller or whatever, you know, whatever have you. Even though that could be a good check, you know,
it could
I just feel like, you know, I think if I really wanted to be famous, and you know, it was about being famous and having the whole world turn into my channel, then I would have done some other things a long time ago that would have allowed me to have that exposure, you know, because I've definitely got the offer many times to be in movies, countless movies, and I've turned them down. But I do definitely appreciate the opportunity that people want to give me. I'm definitely into the idea of scoring movies, you know, to answer that question. Anything that's got to do with music, I'm definitely looking at, you know, making that a part of my future. Right now, the B-sides and the Comfortable Swag releases under Visoleg Records, my label, are really for my diehard fans and the people who are really paying attention. That's why I wanted to do that. Not to keep people waiting for another 4 or 5 years, you know.
Right, and it's awesome. You know, it's awesome that you have evolved. You know, a lot of times artists, they don't evolve. They just stay in their little comfortable spot. And I think for you with this new CD, I think that it went to a totally different direction. You know, and to me, it's like a storybook. You know, you're writing a story.
You know, music is changing, and you know, music is changing. R&B has changed a lot. You know, and you know, I've made an effort to keep up with a lot of different styles of music, but particularly R&B and hip hop, and the way that it's changed. You know, I've stayed up with the times. You know, I was one of the first R&B, you know, guys to sort of bring in, you know, hip hop cats into a R&B track like Tupac. You know what I mean? Like I worked with Jay-Z when Jay-Z was brand new in the game. You know, and my whole thing is. You know, these were things that I wanted to do out of just having a personal love for the music and wanting to, you know, include that in my music. So, I mean, it's really a beautiful thing to see how, you know, the music is growing and changing, and I really want to be a part of that. You know, without it being pretentious and without it being unnatural. I think I just kind of adjust with the times and make it, you know, I make it mine. You know. My way. Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's the way it's supposed to be. We got a caller, area code 973. You are on the air. Area code 973, you're on the air.
Is that me?
Yes.
Oh, my God, I didn't know I raised my hand. Hi, John. My name is Jazzy. I'm one of the DJs on the Soul FM. I absolutely love your music, and we're so honored to have you. My question was going to be to you, were you interested in scoring movies, but you went ahead and you answered it for me before I got a chance to ask it. But that would be great. I mean, what kind of movies would you be interested in scoring?
Anything, really. I mean, because, you know, musically, I don't feel limited to any sort of like style or, you know, or emotion. I mean, you know, it's really, that's the beauty of music, is that you can communicate really any message in a scene. You know, you can make something feel scary, you can make something feel, you know, suspenseful or, you know, sad or happy or romantic. You know, there's all these different elements. So, yeah.
Okay.
I want to do it all.
All right. Well, just to change directions just a little bit from the movie part of it, you have such a unique sound, and if you were to give some advice to up-and-coming artists, what direction would you steer them in?
Well, I would just say, everyone starts with a mentor and someone that they take influence to. The healthiest thing to do as an artist, I believe, is to admit your influences and to be very, very, grateful to your influences, because without your influences, you wouldn't know what you know. You know what I mean? And it's like I just feel like my entire career, all I've done, along with make good music, is give it up to my influences. Give it up to my favorite heroes in R&B and in music in general, and show where the music comes from, show where the influence comes from, because it's very important, man. It's like it's just a matter of like your soul being like, that much more authentic when you do your thing. You know what I mean? Because then it's like, it's not about pride and about standing up on a platform saying, I'm the best at this, and I do it this way because I have a natural talent. This is the way I do it. Nobody does it like me, and blah blah blah. No, it's not like that, man. There's plenty of singing, playing, performing people on this earth, man, and we all got something in common. And I think that's what's really beautiful, is to be able to understand how we have these common forces and abilities, and it's about being kindred spirits, man, and being closer rather than separating one another and competing with one another, and creating dissension and jealousy and all this other whack energy that we don't need, man.
Right.
So I encourage people to be positive and just let's keep this R&B music alive, man, because the R&B of the 60s is the R&B of the 60s. The R&B of the 70s is the great R&B of the 70s. R&B of the 80s is great. 90s is great. Now what is 2000 going to be? You know what I mean? Like, what is really
exactly.
what do we represent right now? And I hope it's love and the same foundation that we started off with, because it's definitely worth carrying on. The tradition.
That's right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I see you being a hero to someone coming up soon, so much success to you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and all the best to you as well.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
All right. We have, let's see here, area code 704. You are on the air with Jon B.
Hey, well, I'm a straight diehard fan, so you can literally name any song that you've ever put out there, and some unreleased, that I know all the words to. And I consider what you do, like, way more than just a musical thing. And I really want to say that to you. Like, if you could understand the impact, like, on a daily basis inside what you have on my life, like, it's, like, beyond compare. So more than anything, at this point, I am, like, literally just like a little kid at Christmas, and I'm waiting for your next one coming out, because I don't think I can wait. I really can't wait.
Beautiful.
So I really want to know when, what you're working on, and when do you think you'll release something else?
Well, I mean, right now I'm working on the album. What's so amazing is that my little girl's, her name is Azure. She's 6. She just turned 6 in this last July, and
right.
July 20th is her birthday, and she turned 6. And it's just, I've been really taking time to be a father, besides being on the road and doing what I got to do to keep the bills paid. I've been really taking time to just not sort of like not obsess over making another record. Although the songs that are coming out for the new record are some of the best songs I've ever written. I mean, it's crazy right now. Really, what I want to do though is I want to take care of a lot of unfinished business. When it comes to my career, when it comes to dialing in certain things before I put another record out. Because these two records, this was for my diehards. This is for you, and all the people that have been supporting me from the very beginning. To keep you guys, interested. Because it's honestly, it's like if I just sit at home, playing these records on my, on my stereo at home or in my car, and I'm jamming to it, and I'm the only one that gets to hear it. That's sort of selfish in my mind. I mean, I want you guys to be, connected to me in a different sense where you really know what's going on and all the different angles of music that I'm sort of trying to approach, you know, and how I've grown and changed with the times, I think is really important, because that keeps everybody up to date, you know, with who you are. You know, I've changed over the years a lot. I can still do my old songs and do the old, you know, deal, but it's also about sharing new energy. And so, you know, the B-sides, you know, Comfortable Swag, these are all, you know, really incredible records that I feel like, you know, it's going to grow on people,
really
you know, as people, you know, as people take the time to listen and check them out. I think they'll be delightfully, you know, kind of, you know, it kind of keep you satisfied for the moment until I do come with that next record, because I think what's really important for the next record is to have the right exposure. I definitely want to have, you know, proper distribution for the record so I can be in stores and, you know, and just and have that visibility that I deserve, you know, because it's definitely not a question of talent or being worthy of being, you know, successful again on a major level. I think it's just, you know, it's just a machine. It's just about knowing the business and having an official angle on the business, you know. These artists now that are putting out records have so much leverage and so much corporate backing that they don't even have to try, you know what I mean? It's just like put a record out. I mean, you better make it good if you're going to have that kind of exposure. But my thing is like, it's pretty much automatic for anybody who's signed to the corporates to have that, you know, that visibility and that push, you know. So I'd love to be able to have that on the next release.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Area Code 704, for dialing in and talking to Jon B. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Okay, we have Now, area code 917. I'm just giving it up to your fans because you know what? Without them, what we say on our website logo is "Without you, there is no us." So That's why I'm giving it mad props to the callers because it's all about them, and without them, there is no us. So I'm gonna keep it going. Let's see here, area code 917. Did I say 917? Yeah, she's been online 26 minutes. Area code 917. You are on the air.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay, I'm on. I'm sorry, I can't tell if I'm on or not.
Yeah, you're on.
You are on the air.
Okay, hey, how y'all doing?
How you doing?
I'm making it. Well, I heard you say that you're not trying to put out a full album right now. And I myself, I'm an independent artist, so I was just wondering, are you looking to work with any other independent artists or, you know, maybe like for like single contracts or things of that nature?
You know, right now I just have so much to do on my own plate right now that I can't prioritize for anybody else right now. It's just really, that's not realistic for me right now, you know. I mean, cats who have, you know, they got a meal tucked in the bank, you know what I mean, after they come home, you know, from doing shows, they don't have to worry about, you know, being on the road, and, you know, they can sink their money into other artists and be able to, you know, take a chance on people and all of that, you know, that's that corporate money. You know, I'm not working with that right now. To be quite honest with y'all, you know, like, it's a different kind of game now, you know. That's right. I mean, artists don't even make really money from selling records anymore. You know, we got to get our money on the road, you know, and it's like that doesn't leave a lot of room for me to really spread myself in any other way, you know. Unfortunately, because I definitely, you know, I have my label Vibes Elect, and I definitely want to expand. But it's all about timing, you know what I mean? It's all about making the right moves at the right time, and not just wanting to just do what everybody does, and that is, you know, everybody's got a label, everybody's got a gang of artists signed to them that never come out. You know, I don't want to be like that. You know, I don't want to have a bunch of people that I'm trying to sell a dream to. I think it's just about a matter of really doing things and due diligence, man, you know, and when it's time, you know, it'll definitely happen. So, you know, persevere. You know what I mean? If you really want it, it's something that's ongoing that, you know, just because one door closes, that doesn't mean that another's not going to open, you know what I mean?
Absolutely not. Myself, I'm a businesswoman, so like music is my hobby. So like I understand like a lot of things on your plate, so I kind of like do that on the side. But yeah, that was my question, and I appreciate your answers, and I'll be continuously just checking in on you and following your movement and seeing what you're doing.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate you. Take care. All the best with what you do.
Likewise. Thank you.
All right.
All right. You are listening to Urban Souls Radio. We are talking to a very own Legendary Jon B, someone has been on hold for 17 minutes. I want to get them. We have area code 559. You are on the air with Jon B.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Who am I speaking with?
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just listening. I didn't have a question.
Oh, okay. Well,
I follow you, but I didn't plan on asking a question.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I saw your hand up back here. I'm sorry.
No,
it's
okay. I was enjoying everyone's questions and getting to know what you're up to, and I follow you and just excited for your new albums and appreciate your music.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. No problem.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay. We're going to go up to area code 7 minutes. Area code 407. 407, you are getting ready to be on the air, so say something. 407, you are on the air. Okay.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Area code.
Hello.
Area code 407.
Hello. Are you there?
Yes. How did you teach yourself? Hello. How did you teach yourself to play since you didn't learn classically?
Just by ear, you know. It's really just sitting at the piano and really just, you know, trying out different chords and different notes, and you know, as a young boy, you know.
Is your daughter learning that way?
Say what now? What'd you say?
Is your daughter learning that way?
Is my daughter learning that way? Actually, no. My mom's a piano teacher, and she's actually giving her proper lessons. So yeah, she's good at. Hopefully, she'll stay with it, and she'll learn the proper way. But other than that, I think she's got also a really like a lot of the natural sort of genes from me, so she's kind of got a natural ear already. You can hear her playing. I hear her playing the piano, and I hear her sounding out the notes, and she's got a pretty good ear, so that's good.
Thank you.
Both ways.
Okay. All right. So let me just get back to the. I thought I spoke with her already. I don't want to keep putting the same people online. I'm trying to go all the way down the list so that people can't send me emails saying, "Hey, put me on." I'm not happy. So that is going to happen. I was looking at. I was thinking about when you did your first CD and how important. I was thinking about that one versus the last one. And how you have changed in so many ways. Do you count that as being just growing up or just moving a different direction in life? What do you? Because you see some artists who they're pretty much songs or say the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, how did you evolve that way?
Well, I think it's about the happiness in your life. It's about the pain in your life. It's about the knowledge that you gain in life, and being able to share that with the world in terms of things are changing all around us, every day. The style that we dress, the way we sound, the way that we eat. I mean, it's different kinds of things happening, man, and as we get older, hopefully we get better, with time, and I just feel like I have a lot more to share than just singing ballads all the time, like this B-Sides is full of a lot of hybrid sort of hip-hop R&B, but at the same time you have that classic sort of vintage sound as well. And it's just I think I've always sort of kept my albums, I'm on this is my 8th album, man. So, this is really a lot of records for people to understand what makes a Jon B record, you know, is really not just one style. It's many, many styles, you know. And
you know, your true fans will see that there's a story being told down the line, and it amazes me because every time you put out a record, you know, you can see that the story that you're adding something to your life story. And I think to be a successful artist, I believe that's what needs to happen, because see, at 19 you're not going to talk about the things at 30 that you talk about.
Yeah,
you know
what
you're
I mean.
Still
you're
stuck
growing,
on
and hopefully
19,
you get
right.
Yeah, hopefully
right.
you have more to talk about. You know, you feel
right.
you could feel a little more comfortable with yourself. I know when I made my record at 19, Bonafide, you know, my first album in 1995, I was a young man, you know, and I didn't have a lot of experience yet, you know, and as I, you know, gained experience, went through, got my heart broken, you know, had a couple bad business deals that went wrong, you know. I spent plenty of time on the road and knew what it was like to be alone. I mean, that added a lot to my character, you know, and I think you can hear it in my songs and my songwriting, how I've changed over the years.
That's
and
right.
I think it, you know, but I never lost my love, man. You know, I still try to make, you know, my songs very, very love oriented, you know, and love as being sort of like what pulls you in, because I think that's really missing in our music is the intimacy, you know, that I'm trying to bring. I feel like I've had the listener's ear for 20 years now, so we have a relationship now. I feel like you trust me, you know, y'all trust me, so it's like now I can really tell you how I really feel. At, you know, 38, you know, even though I started when I was 18, you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm 38 now. I'm gonna give you what my perspective is, you know.
That's right. We have a 504 area code on the line. You are on the air.
Hello.
504. Hello.
Hey, my name is DJ Tan B, and I am I'm a DJ with Urban Souls Radio and the Soul FM, and I play the Our Request line on Tuesdays. So I just had a question. I wanted to know, knowing what you know now, and you had to take it back, like to the past, would you change anything in terms of your life, or everything that happened in your life? Would you still just leave it like it is?
Well, that, I mean, is a very, very broad question. You have to be a little more specific. Are you speaking personally? Are you speaking musically? Are you speaking like how? What do you mean?
I'm speaking musically. Would you change anything about your music?
Not a thing. You know, I mean, probably would have not hired certain managers. You know, people that I've worked with business wise. Probably wouldn't have signed certain entities, you know, in the past, with respect, with all due respect, and you know, and love for the people that have shown interest in my career and that have done business with me. But in my opinion, you know, there's certain things that, if I could change them, you know, go back and erase those negatives, you know, I definitely would. And I think anybody who doesn't have any regrets in their career and just has smooth writings from the very beginning to to where they are right now, you are very fortunate, and that is very unrealistic. Yeah, I mean, because that's just it's part of the industry. It really is. It's like, you know, ups and downs, and you know, the real fans are the ones who rock with you through it all. So. You know.
And also, my last question would be, are you touring right now? And if so, are you going to come to New Orleans?
Oh, wow. Big up New Orleans, man. Everybody down there.
Big N-O.
Yeah, I don't have any plans to come to New Orleans at this moment. I am on tour right now. It's spot dates right now, but right now you can find me and Joe doing a lot of concerts together. We're doing a show next weekend out here in California, and that's going to be really cool. Carl Thomas, myself, and Joe. And it's always nice to be in the company of other great artists. And I've been on the road with just about everybody in the R&B game, man, as far as classic R&B, 90s R&B especially, you know. A lot of the new cats, you know, in R&B, a lot of the the younger guys. I really don't do a lot of shows with those guys, but
right.
you know, you may
well,
see
I just
me,
wish you good
you
luck.
know.
And
Thank you
hope
so much.
to see you in the New Orleans circuit so that I can come backstage.
Without a doubt. I appreciate your love, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Big shout to the NO.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. You know, we have pretty much 9 minutes left, you know, and we downloaded the music to play, but I knew this is how it works. When you are comfortable with talking to people, you pretty much talk the entire time. So I knew that we weren't going to have a lot of time to play the music, but what we normally do on Soul FM and UrbanSouls.com is we will have a Jon B night, and we will play all of your music on the air. So this is
wonderful.
what we're going to end up doing probably tomorrow, is to have a Jon B night and to be able to play all your music. I wanted to give one special shout-out to our promotion department, and her name is Sabrina Gibson. And I wanted you to just say something to her because she works awfully hard to try. She worked hard to get you, and I just wanted you to say something to her.
Well, absolutely. Thank you, Sabrina. Appreciate you everything that you do, and you know, we just we're gonna keep this thing going, man. This music doesn't stop, you know. So all the people that help it continue to grow and prosper, I definitely appreciate you, you know. All the best to you.
We most certainly appreciate you calling in and speaking to us. I mean, it means the world to us. Like I said, we are some of your biggest fans sitting here on UrbanSouls.com. You know, we've been here 4 years and going even stronger, and we do touch base and interview the people who make changes, people who we see that make changes really in the world. I mean, your music, it tells a story, and it doesn't tell a story that tells you to get up and shoot somebody and get up and kill somebody and get up and run somebody over with a car. You know, it tells a story that we do need peace on earth. We really, really do. You know, if we take it back to where if we take it back to where you're coming from, it's nothing but love, my brother. So I thank you from the bottom of our hearts at Urban Souls Radio and the Soul FM that you took your time out of your busy schedule to speak with us.
My pleasure.
And again, we hope to talk to you again real soon when your next album comes out. We hope to talk to you again.
Absolutely.
Thank you
know that.
so much. Thank you so much.
Right,
Be
brother.
blessed.
You too.
All right. Peace.
All right. Peace.
That was the legendary Jon B. You heard it right here. You heard it right here on UrbanSouls.com. You know, UrbanSouls.com, if you are not a member of UrbanSouls.com, I suggest you run on over and just open up your little page, because guess what? We're doing big things all the time, always. And you know what? We're going to keep on moving forward, keep on moving up. We do big things with big people. As you can see, Jon B was here. Right here on the Soul FM, UrbanSouls.com. Again, we'd like to thank each and every one of you, all of his guests who are listening, all of the fans in the chat room. You guys are awesome. You guys are a wonderful bunch of people. I want to give a big shout out to Delicious Talk. She stopped in the building. What's up, Delicious? She stopped in the building. I want to thank her for stopping in. And you guys are the best. It was a wonderful night, and I appreciate you all so much. So with that said, at least we can get a couple of songs out. We're going to play right now, After the Party. Yeah, Jon B.
be people who fluctuate and look more, but they don't look how much you first leaving you home. When it's talking, conversation so deep, it's